We now move to some more news updates. Venezuela has reached a deal with the United States to resume repatriation flights for migrants. President Nicolás Maduro announced that the flights will begin today. This comes amid growing tensions over the United States deporting Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador. 200 migrants were sent there last week. They were gang members. Venezuela strongly denied this claim. Meanwhile, families of the deportees began protesting, demanding their loved ones be safe. They were deceived into believing they were headed back to Venezuela. Maduro blamed Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele for their detention and urged his government to release them immediately. Meanwhile, a US judge has ordered for more information on the deportations of these migrants by March the 25th. Venezuela says it will hire to ensure that migrants return safely. Let's hear what the relatives of imprisoned people had to say.
Michael Antonio Olivera está detenido desde el 24 de octubre del año 2024, donde se encontraba laborando y fue...
Michael es una persona sin expedientes policiales, una persona limpia. Si no, no estuviese toda la comunidad que está ahorita en este momento aquí.
Ellos no tienen ellos no han cometido ningún delito en El Salvador. Entonces pedimos que sean devueltos de forma inmediata a todos, Venezuela. Que si es Venezuela quien tiene que sancionar a estos muchachos porque son sus connacionales y los queremos aquí.
We are now joined by Dr. Veselin Ivanov-Popovsky, Professor and Vice Dean, Jindal Global Law School, located in New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. I want to first start off with the law considerations of this. Of Venezuelan deportees there was a law enacted, a centuries-old law enacted to deport these people out of the USA, a law usually reserved for wartime. How does the use of this law fees up with international law considerations? And these guys didn't have a fair trial or a trial at all before deported to El Salvador. What does this mean? How is the international community going to look at this?
Well, it's obviously shameful the part of the Trump administration to invoke an irrelevant, as you said, it's 1798 law, which was meant to be for national enemy states. If a country invade another country, only in that sense. Obviously, 200 Venezuelans in the United States are not part of any armed force, not part of any aggression or incursion into the United States. And the American, including the federal judge, clearly stated that the deportations are illegal. I also submit that the U.S. President and the President Maduro right back family reunion believe that. But this is the kind of day where turn into populism, if those seen really ridiculous in 1930s in Europe. But that's what President in domestic law, again, judges in the United States. More than that, in the Supreme Court, the judge that those illegal or just effectively denying that impeach James Bosberg.
I want to go, Dr. Popovsky, if you don't mind, I want to go into the methods into the ways that these migrants were shipped over to El Salvador. First of all, there are reports They're going in chains. There are reports they're being misled, believe that they're going back to their own country. Would you be able to talk a little bit about some of the things that these migrants are experiencing under the new Trump administration, and also explain to me a bit where they've gone? I mean, El Salvador previously known for serious gang violence, but now it's home to these mega prisons. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Certainly. Well, it's a range of human rights violations. It's not only one. It's a long list of violations of human rights. Again, the time will show, and how judges will rule on all of those violations. People were deceived. They were told they are going back to Venezuela to reunify with their families. That was a lie. They were deported to El Salvador, as you said, to a very notorious gang prison. Their heads were shaved, they were mistreated. You know, the picture were really horrible. That they remind concentration camps back in the 1930s. Families obviously protested in Venezuela. You showed the picture of family members being so angry with what happens to their family members. Again, it's really dire situation. Human rights are no longer respected. President Trump would like to look strong, but it's strong against the weak. He uses the migrants, people who have nothing to do apart from being victims of his rules. So that's how he looks strong against the weak.
What does this situation reveal about the current state of US and Venezuela relations, in particular with Donald Trump and the controversial leader that is Nicolás Maduro?
As I mentioned, it's really paradoxical to see Donald Trump violating human rights and President Maduro trying to accommodate the situation and negotiating the deportation back to Venezuela from El Salvador now, happy to bring those people back home. And President Trump absolutely denying any legal basis of any of his action. It's an irony. It's really a reverse what we would have expected to happen. Well, by the way, migrants are very peaceful people. Like against everybody says, or every nationalist in the world say migrants are a problem. They are not. Those people expect their papers from the immigration office. They don't want to do anything which is against the law. They don't want to deal with the police or any, even small crimes they wouldn't commit, simply because they want to settle in the place they were. And to name migrants to be criminal is, again, absolute lie. It has never been proven. In 1 of a million migrants may commit a crime. Mostly crimes are committed by the local people, by the natives, not by the migrants. Thank you.
Dr. Veselin Ivanov-Popovsky, thank you very much for joining us. We now move on. Istanbul